My name is my name was Matthew Lochner. Now, official government document. I gotta read it to you though because I haven't memorized it yet. Reginald Matthew Michael Wesley Adamantium, Wolverine clause, Green Werner Lochner Gray. I still couldn't get it right even reading it. Yeah, recently changed my name, so you've seen me as Matthew Lochner on Real Side. I'm now Reginald Gray. One thing that I really loved about this episode was that we took our time. A lot of documentaries you see are, fly on the wall and like spray and pray, which is totally one kind of filmmaking that I respect and love. But one thing that I really wanted to concentrate on the superhero episode was that it was setups, we took our time, and it was more cinematic shooting than it was documentary, fly on the wall kind of thing. And I owe a huge part of that to James Heaslip, our cinematographer. He was unbelievable. I got to direct a dream come true. I've been a superhero fan my whole life. I have Wolverine's claws tattooed on my knuckles. I have Wolverine tattooed here. I have Green Arrow on my back. It's been a lifelong love. And when it came time for the series to do another episode, I thought, I know one famous person, Stephen Amell. So why don't I try to leverage that? So basically I just pitched the idea of me becoming a superhero. And it went through some different changes. At one point I thought I was gonna be like working out on screen with Stephen, and then we got to Vancouver and he told us that he actually doesn't work out. He just works out on camera, like on set, which was mind-blowing. I got to create a superhero, talk to my heroes, and I still pinch myself to this day. I can't believe I got to do it. It's unbelievable. I went to film school and had Canadian cinema and Canadian television jammed down my throat. And to be completely honest, I didn't care. I knew I had to do it to get through film school. And then I started working Canadian television on the show Rent-A-Goalie, and all of a sudden I saw that there is this beautiful niche market, this beautiful thing that Canadians do specifically, that is beautiful aside from what Americans do. Then when Real Side happened, and we went and shot that episode with Don McKellar and Bruce McDonald, my opinion of Canadian anything completely changed. It was really hard to do the superheroes episode because I had to share the screen with a beefcake, Stephen Amell. I had to share the audio track with David Hayter. Do you hear that voice? I sound like a woman next to Solid Snake. Like, are you kidding me? And the zaniness of Lloyd Kaufman. Like, these guys really were the triple threat. My absolute favorite moment from the episode came care of David Hayter. It was the first day of shooting with him, and it was a snowstorm in Toronto. And it was actually at my apartment. It was that scene in my apartment, and we were sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And all of a sudden, we get this frantic phone call from David Hayter's agent. And she's like, David's coming. What's the address one more time? And Raj gave them the address, and we were like, what's going on here? They're like, David is very lost, he's very apologetic, and he's gonna be there as soon as he can. So we're like, okay. Up comes this guy in the middle of the night, dead of winter, and he's like, I am so sorry that I'm so late. Please forgive me. I couldn't find the address. My phone died because I was out last night. I tried to find a payphone. I didn't have any money. I had to borrow money to call my agent to find your number to get. That is the kind of guy that David Hayter is, and the same goes for Lloyd and Stephen. One other thing actually from the episode that we have on camera is Stephen showing us his arrow shrine. It's mind-blowing. He has this little, he has a very lovely estate, but there is this one little room that he has off to the side that he has just arrow trinkets. And that was another thing that reminded me of how humble and real these guys are. It's not lost on them. Like, he is Arrow, he's in the DC universe, he has a legion of fans, and yet in his house, it's just Arrow stuff everywhere, including this shrine, this little room that he has like trinkets from when he was a kid and like Arrow memorabilia that people have sent him. In terms of him being like his counterpart, he hit a home run at Rogers Center like a couple weeks ago, which he posted on Instagram, which is really cool. David Hayter was talking to Solid Snake, so his voice alone made him Solid Snake. And in terms of X-Men, like, the guy is an Encyclopedia Britannica. Like, you give him any character, any situation, anything that I loved, and he would just go and just talk about like the real life ramifications of making Wolverine's claws, or this incredible story that we have on camera of Michael Jackson wanting to play the role of, and you'll never guess it, Professor X. That's a true story. Before Michael Jackson died, he tried to play Professor X in X-Men. And we have it on camera, David Hayter talking about it. In terms of Lloyd, if you watch any of Lloyd's films, anything from Trauma, then you get a taste of Lloyd. And Lloyd isn't afraid to put himself out there either. You go on any Trauma social media, you could probably call Trauma and get a hold of Lloyd. He's that accessible and awesome and authentic and real. And I mean, those movies are zany as all hell, and he is exactly that. He has put himself in all of his films. Is he specifically the Toxic Avenger? Definitely not physically, as he is yay high and Toxie would be. But it's more the aura, the being of Lloyd that is the Toxic Avenger kind of thing. And the tutu. I love how you put a tutu on a superhero. Straight up fight, who would win, Toxic Avenger or Arrow? I think the Toxic Avenger would win. And I think it would be because he would pull out the, anybody who's a Toxic Avenger fan knows that he has a part of his body that is quite ridiculous. And I think that he would use it in the fight, and I think it would scare Arrow off a little bit. And I'll just kind of leave it at that. I have no idea what's going on in the DC universe, but I would love to see some kind of Arrow versus Batman thing, so we can finally settle it once and for all who the true billionaire, playboy, you know, Oliver Queen versus Bruce Wayne kind of thing is. And I'm going for the underdog. I'm obviously going to go because of Steven, but also because I love the underdog. I think Oliver Queen would take Bruce.
Looks like it's go time.